Did you think that was probably a gettable target that you restricted them to?
Yeah, I was pretty happy at the halfway mark, particularly at 1 for 170 with, say, 15 overs to go. I would have taken 270. And I still think I would have. I still think I'd take 270. I think it was a good cricket wicket. I think they bowled very, very well. Made it hard for us to get any momentum with the bat. And a lack of partnerships probably. But yeah, I think 270 was certainly gettable on that.
I mean, what was the major problem? Because it seemed almost from the start that Watson and Hughes couldn't get going. Is it because the bowling was so good, or is it is there just a bit of form problem in that batting lineup at the moment?
It could be a bit of both. I think they bowl very, very well. I think if Watto's going to get anything loose, I think he's in great touch at the moment. If he was going to get anything loose, he would have put it away. I think they set really smart fields to Hughesy, made him hard for him to score, and we saw pretty quickly that the pace started to come off the ball in that second innings, which made it harder to score as well. But I certainly think they bowled well. But the challenge in one-day cricket is then to find a way to score, to get some momentum going, while at the same time trying to build a partnership. And that was the one thing lacking. I mean, it was flattering in the end to only lose by 50 runs or whatever. It was probably more like a 60 or 70 run loss. But that's one partnership away from your top order, one guy in your top 5 getting 100, and that's probably the difference.
Given the nature of this tournament, is it going to be hard for your batsmen to get a bit of momentum now?
Well, we will bat well in the next game, or we won't, and that'll be the answer. I mean, international cricket, that's just how you've got to respond. It's a bad game. The one thing I don't want to see, and the one thing we'll be certainly pushing for, is for guys not to change the way they play. I want to see Davey Warner going after bowlers. I want to see him crashing the ball everywhere. I want to see Watto doing the same thing, and that's the way we've got to keep playing. That's why we've picked guys, and that's the challenge. While all that other stuff is going on around you, is to make sure that you stick to your own game plan and to find a way to make it work.
Was there a confidence problem at all with the batting today, George?
Well, it's a hard one to answer because I can't speak for everyone personally, but it certainly looked like we were stuck a little bit in between. Do we challenge them, try and take something on, maybe make something happen, or do we just wait for them to bowl bad balls? And England, I don't think, bowled many bad balls today. I'm trying to think of a drive that we missed, or they started reverse swinging the ball, so you tend to think, right, we'll get a couple on the pads, or we'll get a cut if they go the other way. But there wasn't much. So I think they were very, very disciplined, made it hard for us. But the one thing we kept talking about, particularly with a score like 270, 260, is if you can get that partnership going, I think you can get 90, 80 runs pretty easily in the last 10 overs. It's just a matter of having some wickets in the hand, so you can at some stage put some pressure back on the bowlers.
Did you? It was a fair insight, I suppose, from England. With their bowling, what Australia can expect now for the next few months.
Absolutely, yeah, and they're a very experienced bowling lineup. So there's no one there we haven't seen before, and there was nothing that they bowled today that we weren't expecting. They just executed very, very well, exploited the conditions, exploited the wearing nature of the pitch, which probably wore a little more than we thought it was going to. So that's something that we have to think about going forward as well.
Surprised how quickly England were reversing the ball?
Very, yeah. It was. It's good skill that. What I sort of felt like it went from swinging conventionally to swinging reverse within an over or two, and that's no doubt they worked on it a little bit. I mean, we saw they bowled some cross seam, maybe bowling a little bit of spin early plays a part in that as well. I think they're highly skilled at it, but it's something that I think we need to look at and try and exploit if that's going to be the condition, because it just made it. I mean, it made their bowling plan so simple for the quicks. Once it started reversing, they could really just hit a good length throughout the entire innings.
Obviously, Michael Clarke is a big loss. What's your understanding of when you might expect to see him back?
He was planning for the New Zealand game. Chatting to him yesterday, he felt like progress had been pretty slow. Ideally, we win this game, and that gives him a little bit of buffer, a few extra days. But I know he's desperate to get back. I know the talk is save yourself for the Ashes and whatnot and that. But every time I chat to him, he's desperate to get here to get some training under his belt first, and then to be able to play. But it really is a day by day sort of scenario. So I haven't heard how he's gone today, or if he's made any progress today.
George, Shane Watson bowled 7 overs today and looked pretty strong. How do you find that balance now between he's adds so much when he does bowl in the team, but you don't want to sort of overdo him with so much cricket to come and his injury problems in the past?
Yeah, we monitor that pretty closely with Watto, and he's honest. He could have given us 10 today. I think we looked after him pretty well in the practice games, and it's just about being smart about when we use him and how often we use him and all those sorts of things. And to be honest, I think when you got someone like Watto who's so important to our side, and you see how much he adds to the side, you've got to be guided by him a little bit. And if he feels like he can bowl 10, then you give him his 10, or you have that space to give him 10. But if he feels like he's at a stage where he can only bowl 5, then I think you got to respect that as well.
Continues to sort of establish himself and show what he can do.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, no, very impressive cricketer. It's been a really big 12 months for him, really. And as I said downstairs, I just think that a great trait is that any time you're challenged to go a level that people haven't seen before, he just seems to find something. It's not always pretty, but it's effective, and there's a lesson in that, I reckon, for a lot of cricketers, and something that certainly this cricket side can take out of.
How good was Jimmy today, bearing in mind that it wasn't moving that much sideways?
Must have looked different. I thought it was moving sideways a little bit when he bowled through the middle. He's so skillful. I mean, he's got the record he's got because of the skills he has, and as I said, the fact that he started reversing it, no issues with that. We were expecting that, but for him then to not give you anything on the pads, or to not give you a cut, or just to be so accurate was testament to the bowler he is, and how important he is to England's team.
It's the first of a long series of matches between the two sides. I'm over here, sorry. There was talk about the possibility of putting down a marker. Is there any relevance to the rest of the bigger picture from this result?
Oh, none, obviously. Yeah. I don't know, 28 games or something. If the first one-dayer has any bearing, then you want to win every game. It's England versus Australia. It's a huge rivalry. Every game means something. So. But it's not a marker, or it might be, but that we can only say that in hindsight, I reckon.